Hello, we are back to school again with Professor Alex, and today I am going to teach you guys how to subtract. Now, yesterday we worked on addition. Today we are going to work on some subtraction. Now, I'm going to give you a couple of problems here. We're going to have 6 minus 4, 10 minus 3, and then we're going to get a little bit interesting and do negative 2 plus 4 and negative 2 minus negative 3, or negative 2 minus 3 would be a better way to go about it. This way we stay on track. Now, first problem, 6 minus 4. On your number line, as we did before, you have your 6. And because we're subtracting today, subtraction goes to the left. So from 6, you count to the left 4 times on your number line. 1, 2, 3, 4. Which means 6 minus 4 is 2. Now 10 isn't on our number line, but if we subtracted 10 from number line on our number line, if we subtracted 3 from 10, we would have 10, 9, 8, 7. So from 10, we would go over 3 and we would end up at 7. So 10 subtracted by 3 on our number line is 7. Now, this is going to be pretty interesting. Our negative 2, which is right here, if we added 4, this is the same as if we had 4 minus 2. But since we have negative 2 and we added 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So negative 2, we're going to erase this. Negative 2 plus 4 is going to be positive 2. Now, when you subtract a negative from a negative, it gets a larger negative. If the positive is larger than the negative, then your answer is going to be positive. But in a situation where your negative, for example, negative 7, is larger than your positive, you're going to end up with a negative. And I'm going to show you why. Let's just erase some of this stuff here so we got some place to work. If negative 7 was over here, and then you're going to go over 4 places. You're going to go to the right because you're adding 4 places. So negative 7, negative 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, it would be negative 3. But if you have negative 2 minus 3, you're going to start with negative 2. And because you're subtracting, you're going to go over to the left. So just now, when we had negative 7 plus 4, we added 4, which meant we went to the right. But now we're subtracting negative 2 from, we're subtracting negative 3 from negative 2, and we're going now to the left. So negative 2 minus negative 3, you're going to go over 3, 1, 2, 3, and you're going to now have negative 5. So this is how you would do basic subtraction. Now I'm going to get a little bit more difficult here. I always do. I like to give you guys the basics, but then I like to actually give you guys a challenge. So what I want to do is I want to give you this. If you would like, you can pause the video and then practice it on your own and then see if you get the same answer that I do. Or you can just follow along here. We're going to do a 2-digit number. We're going to say 23 minus 6, which is also written as 23 minus 6. Now, when you're subtracting a single-digit number from a two-digit number, you want to make sure that you line up your numbers because there's one digit here, there's two digits here. If this was a two-digit number, it would be 0, 6, and this would be 23 minus 0, 6, which is the same as this if you wrote it there. But because it's not there, you can put it there as a place value to help you with keeping your number in order, but you don't necessarily need it once you get used to this. So you're going to go to your columns like I explained to you in the last chapter, and you're going to have 6 minus, or 3 minus 6, because you're going to go from top to bottom here, or bottom to top, I should say. And because the 6 is larger than the 3, you now have to borrow from the other column. So this 3, you're going to cross it out, and you're going to add, because when you take from this column, this is the 10 place, this is the 3's place, and you're going to take 1 from this, which is going to make 2 minus 1 equals 1. And over here in this column, you're going to have 3 plus 10 equals 13. So now your new problem is going to be 6 minus 13, which is 7. And now since you have 1 here, and there's nothing, 1 minus 0 is 1, so 23 minus 16 is 17. Now you think that was complicated. It gets funner. So, what if we had a three-digit number? Let's find out. Let's say we had 6, 8, 9 minus 5, 9, 7, which is also written as 689 minus 597. We're going to do the columns again. And you always want to do this. This is actually going to help you in multiplication, and we're going to be talking about multiplication in our next class. But in the columns, 7 is less than 9. So 9 minus 7 is 2. Because on the number line, 10, 9, 8, 7. That's how you find that out. And if you ever get confused about your number line, you can always draw your number line out on a sheet of scratch paper and then count down. But eventually you're going to recognize these and you'll be able to do this instinctively. Now in the middle column, the tens place, because this is the ones place, this is the tens place. Let's write that better for you. Not really all that better, but you kind of get the place. And this is the hundreds. So in the tens place, you have 8 minus 9. Now 8 is less than 9. So in this situation, you're going to have to borrow, just like we did in the last problem, from the 6. So the 6 is in the hundreds place, which is 10 times greater than the tens place. So the 6 place, make a little bit of room here, is going to be 6 minus 1 equals 5. But in the 8 place, make a little bit more room here, eight plus 10 equals 18. So now your new problem is 18 minus 9, which is 9. And you put your 9 here. Now since your 5 is the new number in the hundreds place, you have 5 minus 5, which is 0. So the answer to this, 689 minus 597, is 92. Now, in 5th grade math, your teacher are not going to give you a problem that is going to be a negative number. Usually, your problem is going to equal 0 or equal a number greater than 0. However, 6th grade, not going to really care about that. Your teacher in 6th grade is going to give you a cute problem like this: 689 minus 776. Now, you can draw a number line. I wouldn't recommend it. By now, we should be practicing to get our columns together and then work column by column. Now, this is also wrote long ways like this so that you understand it. And we're going to start in the ones place. 9 minus 6 is 3. 8 minus 7 is 1. And 6 minus 7. Now, this is going to be a little bit tricky for you because if you're just starting out with this, you're going to wonder, well, what happens because 6 is not minus 7, or 7 isn't minus 6, because you can't really take 7 from 6. However, if you reverse this and have 7 minus 6, it would equal 1. But because this is a positive number that you're subtracting from with a negative number, your 7 is going to be reversed, if that makes sense. So this would be equivalent to saying negative 7 plus 6 equals negative 1. So now you're going to put the 1 here, but you're also going to put the minus sign. So 689 minus 776 is actually negative 113. Now, I just crept you guys from 5th grade math right on into about 6th or 7th grade math, but you're going to love me for it later if you guys keep following along with me. I'm going to give you one more problem, and after that, we'll be done. But I'm going to leave a link below in case you guys would like to use me as a tutor for yourself or for your children. And also, if you have any questions, please leave comments below. I can work on just about any problem that you come up with, and we can host us a class. But let's do one more problem just for giggles. A little bit of overtime here. We're going to say 989 minus 899. So, really close. But this is actually not going to be a negative number, so you don't have to worry. But if you do your columns like we taught before, 9 minus 9 is 0. You're going to borrow from the 9, make the 9 an 8, because 9 minus 1 equals 8. And you're going to turn 8 into an 18, because 8 plus 10 equals 18. My 8s always get ugly after a while. 18 minus 9 is 9, but 8 minus 8 is 0. So that means that your problem, 989 minus 899 equals 90. So that's all we have for today. I will see you tomorrow, where we'll be working on decimals and fractions, and also we're going to be leading into, later in the week, some multiplication and division. So I look forward to seeing you next time. Enjoy your recess.